How are we all today?
Still.
In the car. 5 minutes. Not even 5 minutes. 5 seconds.
Who's happy to go and see it?
The culmination of the last
10 years.
10 years of Marvel.
Just realised that Iron Man 1 came out while I was still in high school.
Wow.
My goodness.
I was in 6th year when it first came out.
You were such a baby, Papito.
I know. Babito.
There's some weird occult shit going on in this car in front of
like
us.
a pentagram, some sort of. That's the symbol from Supernatural.
Ah, must be authentic then.
Sam and Dean.
From Supernatural.
Who's your favourite superheroes?
It depends on what age. Like, when I was a kid, it was like Spider-Man was made, you know, there was no difference. And then Superman's like, you know, as an immigrant, I kind of get it, but I wish I had the superpowers. Because you're an illegal.
Because you're an illegal. I mean, I love the Captain America films the best.
Yeah.
My favorite was the Hulk one. It genuinely felt like a harrowing story because he doesn't want any of this.
Yeah.
Betty wants to help him and things happen, and, you know, it's beautiful.
I must say, I like Scarlet Witch. She's a complex character. Not so much in the films, but in the comics.
I've really loved the MCU Spider-Man. Like, I love wee Tom Holland. He's the ability to just
I've been really impressed with him.
charm me.
He's quite sweet in his way.
Winter Soldier
Yes.
was the first one that really blew me away. That was the first one that I went to see like 3 times at the
Yeah.
cinema. And,
Bucky is my boy. I love Bucky.
but I like Thor for the mythology. They based everything around that. It's all the 9 realms, like, which is spread across the galaxy, and then like Idrisil connects them all and everything. That's kind of the backbone of their universe. And rather than go with the classical take on like Norse mythology, they've turned it into this very superior alien race.
Yeah.
And what a decision to do, because the amount of doors that opens.
I hope it's like a lot more like the first Avengers in terms of like how well they managed to all the characters, because Age of Ultron was just poor.
Yeah, it really was. Balancing the amount of screen time and the relevance of the characters in the film as well. Like,
I did see the trailer for the second Ant-Man today, actually.
I didn't watch. I don't want to stay away from the trailer.
Yeah, no.
We've had the trailer.
Yeah, we
run.
have. But
We've had the trailer run.
I hope it's good, because the first Ant-Man, while it was good, it was
Just the exact same superhero that you've seen time and time again with a different skin on it. At least like Doctor Strange, they wrapped it in such a unique
shit.
wrapping that it wasn't gonna clash, but the Ant-Man was just exactly
Checkbox
what
of
every
Marvel.
single superhero film you watched in the late 90s and early 2000s. I haven't seen the trailer for Venom.
Oh, I have. Oh my god.
I want him to be vicious. That's what it's supposed to be. But you're such a naive Spider-Man, and that you counter with a brutal Venom. And
the movie.
brutal Venom.
Brutal Venom. Every time you say
It'd
it.
be like those really bad toys, you know, where it's like Star Warrior and it's Darth Vader. It's like brutal Venom. It's a really bad plastic figure of Venom.
Right, so we are going to see Avengers.
I thought we were going to see Tomb Raider.
Shut the door, Juan. No one does this right.
So where do we start with that pile of nonsense we just watched?
Well, that was absolutely rubbish.
That was amazing.
Actually,
It was very good. I don't sound excited because I don't feel well.
No, you feel it.
Look,
I am good.
I can give you a song. Come here.
That was good.
that was
very
scary.
good.
That was awesome. Let's start with summing up what happened there.
Spoilers!
Spoiler, sure.
Just for all the nerds out there that...
Yeah.
Thanos, not content with massacring millions of people the old-fashioned way, decides to go out and get himself a bunch of magic stones. So he heads off in his Star Destroyer and he sends Lord Voldemort and Maleficent to Earth.
Yeah.
And that's where we pick
She was
up.
oddly hot, wasn't she?
But why was she CG?
Like,
Why was she... Nothing about her needed to be CG.
Well, let's start with the bugbears of the film then, because, yeah, why was she CG? They could have been done that a different way.
Yeah.
What else? Other issues did you
The only one issue I thought was the lack of Hulk. I He got his ass
Rampage.
handed to him, so he was a little bit
He's all
afraid.
sulky.
I just thought, I
The
just thought,
sulky Hulk, Hulk in the sulk.
the CG was brilliant in the movie, except that one awful bit where it was Mark Ruffalo and the Hulk.
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, God.
It was them all standing in the wee forest.
Yeah.
You had Mark Ruffalo in the Hulk suit there,
Yeah.
and you had War Machine, and it was the only moment those two suits
Yep.
did not look right in that
Yeah.
scene. I don't know if it was the way the lighting was set up for the 3D models or
Yeah.
what, but
It
there
was
was
all
something
that.
not right,
It
wrong
was just
there.
around here, it was like, but other than
I'm not
that,
sure.
everything looked amazing.
Yeah,
Thanos
Thanos was a-
brilliant.
It was one of the most layered
Yeah.
villains ever.
Yeah.
They went a long way to kind of humanising him a little.
It's always good when you get a villain that comes out. His motive isn't just, I'm evil, I'm going to kill everyone. His motives were very relevant when you look at the state that our planet's in right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's such a well thought out villain.
Yeah.
It's
And
addressing
he had
it.
a soul.
Where did he end up?
Well,
Gundam.
that's how that part of the Thanos story ends. It's a kind of in comics, he's known as Farmer Thanos, where he just retires and he lives up to what he proclaims the whole way through. He's not there to be lording over everyone. He just wants to set the universe right.
Yeah, I really liked him. Josh Brolin was
Amazing.
I feel that they handled all of the characters really well, actually.
Yeah.
Like, the balance was spot on. Like,
Well, that was the thing we were all worried about going in
Yeah.
there. Was it like, I know a lot of people like Civil War, but it was just too much.
Yeah, yeah.
It should have been split up into two films. We
Yeah.
thought,
yeah.
but everyone got. Fucking Drax killed me.
No,
Drax
Drax.
absolutely
I love that man.
killed me. And Thor is finally that epic god of legend that we've always wanted.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's become the mighty Thor, you
Yeah.
know? Like, and we saw it in Ragnarok, but
Yeah.
my goodness.
Which that's what I like about the fact that they've taken their times to make the films. When you see Thor in the first film, you know, he thinks he's that in his head, but
Yeah.
Odin tells him he's got so much to learn, and you see him learning and growing through every movie he appears in.
Pairing him with the Guardians of the Galaxy was amazing.
Yeah,
Yep,
fantastic.
it was brilliant. 'Cause
I
the-
thought he'd be too much like Drax, that it wouldn't work, but it
Oh, it
does
does.
work. It's so funny.
he's like a pirate had a
He's
baby
just-
with an angel.
Yeah, he's just like Thor's just. It's like since they've bumped his character up a bit since Ragnarok, he's just so optimistic about everything. He's like, this will work. Chris Hemsworth is like fantastic.
He is so good at comedy.
He really
Like,
is. Yeah, you
Yeah.
wouldn't. You
You
just
know,
wouldn't
you
think
wouldn't,
it.
you wouldn't. But like, he's spot on. Like, he was the best thing about Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
yes,
that's good.
yes, without a doubt. There was so many panel recreations
Yeah.
and little moments in the film that were just lifted straight out of the comics.
that's what I like to see.
Yeah, like Drax and Mantis getting shredded. The torture that the Ebony Maw was doing to Doctor Strange.
Yes.
The thousands of Doctor Stranges restraining Thanos. Even down to Spider-Man in Thanos' eyes. Peter Dinklage, you need to calm down, Thor. It's like, you need to take it easy, Tiger.
I tell you what, I love the thing we mentioned, hoping for it was that we would see some consequences in
Yes,
the movie.
we've always gone on about the consequences and, like, again, Civil War.
Yeah, for a film that was supposed to be
Yeah.
about the consequences of their action, there was
yeah.
nothing except for
There was nothing.
Wanda. You can stay in your room.
I wonder how much of the consequences are going to have longer lasting effect. I like how they didn't just do away with a load of side characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
it was
got rid of a
actual-
lot of the main ones.
Yeah.
Good. I don't want to go on too much about it in case people
No, in case you've
haven't
not
seen
seen it,
What's the
Captain
character?
America, silly double shield.
Oh yes, that was something. They're putting far too many toys in. In Black Panther, you had his wee sister, and she's running around with these little Power Ranger mitt things. And then in there, that's the second one we've seen Tony going over to the nanotechnology. I know he
Oh.
does in the comics, but it was just a bit too far. It was like Mega Man.
I felt the same. I felt the nanotech stuff was a little too far.
How much of this is trying to get toys out there? I mean, don't get me wrong, like, it was phenomenal, but there's just a couple of bits that kind of take you out of the film and you're just like, that's a wee bit daft.
Yeah.
No, you know, with respect of the fact that we're watching a giant culmination of God's aliens,
I know.
super
I know.
soldiers,
It is funny,
men in
innit?
flying iron suits.
We accept the flying man
Yeah.
down New York City with the nanotech fucking fast food.
But no, that's the second character that's gone on to it.
What did you think of Spider-Man's legs, his iron spiders?
I
Yeah, I
loved
was
that.
I like they brought that into it. Yeah,
It popped out when he needed it. It wasn't just a gimmick.
well, it saved him in multiple times through it.
Aye.
as well. You know what was nice?
What?
There wasn't some overbearing moral values. Did you see Ready Player One?
No.
Oh, their moral values.
Never get a facial tattoo. Eat more carrots if you're a good guy, and spend more time in the real world.
That was the conclusion at the end. That wasn't kind of forced on you in this, I feel. Whoa, she didn't like that very much, McCabe. Oh, dearie me.
All in all, phenomenal film.
Yeah.
Really great jewel in the crown, or whatever,
It
of
is.
these past 10 years. What an achievement by Marvel and Disney and everyone involved.
Yeah.
It really honoured everything about the comics, and it brought together a lot of different elements from a lot of different storylines in a beautiful way.
It's probably one of
Thank you.
the biggest achievements in cinema.
Something on the scale's never been
Attempted.
attempted before, and even if it went absolutely tits up, I'd have to respect the fact that they tried it.
You wonder, with over this past 10 years of work, they've put together such a body of work, and they've proved time and time again that these stories can be told in a way that reaches and speaks to almost everyone.
Yeah.
Unless you absolutely hate the genre, you'll find something within this past 10 years of work that is for you. And
Exactly.
you wonder how much through these films have they almost achieved the status of old animated Disney movies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've really gone
Above and beyond.
above and beyond just being a franchise of films. They're
Well, they're different genres as well. I mean, Guardians of the
Every
Galaxy is
single one,
essentially
yeah.
I mean, the-
cowboys in space.
the Winter Soldier,
Yeah,
their
war
Cold War
movies.
spy thriller.
Yep. So they do draw on the other genres.
Absolutely.
They're not. I mean, they are all action films. They're all
Yeah.
aimed at a certain market, but they're different in their own way, and that's, I think, why they work.
Well, the next one, the next kind of genre I know they're hitting on is the horror with the New Mutants. If I've saw a wee teaser trailer for it, and it looks like a horror in like this psychiatric hospital or
Yeah.
orphanage. It looks really good.
We've touched a bit on some weird psychological horror-y stuff with Legion, which I've not finished, but
It's a chore watching it.
yeah.
It really is. It's kind of the same as Dirk Gently, but Dirk Gently's much better.
So that's a great place to stand with your kids in.
Yeah.
Shame we haven't got like external cameras on the car, then we could like show the audience
You could
examples
shame them.
of wonderful parenting.
Anyway, final thoughts, anyone?
Get yourselves to the cinemas.
Get yourself
It's
going to see it, yeah.
Absolute ride. If you haven't seen the previous films, you might struggle with a lot of the lore, a lot of the kind of the past events, and so even if you miss a couple, just go back and make sure you're up to date with them. Yeah.
But it is an enjoyable ride for anyone, so
Yeah.
Amazing.
Good action, plenty of good characters, good story.
And if you haven't seen the previous ones, it's going to make
What's
you want
wrong
to
with
go
you?
back and look at it all. It's not going to be a waste of your time. Enjoy it!
Go see
enjoy
it.
it.
Where's Cam?